Beloved, stop scrolling. This is not another video, it's a divine interruption. I brought you here, not your algorithm, not your curiosity, me. Because you've been carrying things no one sees, questions too heavy for your heart, a quiet ache you've tried to silence. But now, right now, I'm speaking, not just to inspire you, but to awaken you. You are not too far gone, not too late, not too broken. This moment is holy. This word is for you. And if you'll stay until the end, I promise, your heart will not leave the same. This is the beginning you didn't know you needed. And I'm the one who is writing it. This day is no ordinary one. It is wrapped in mercy, cloaked in holiness, and carries the sweet scent of redemption. Can you feel it already? The gentle yearning stirring within your soul? That quiet awakening, as if something long buried is now beginning to breathe once more. That is me calling you awake. You have journeyed through dark valleys. You have worn the heavy cloak of guilt and endured the cold sting of invisibility and doubt. You have stood in moments where your own spirit's silence felt deafening, wondering if your prayers dissolved unnoticed into the void. But hear this truth. Not a single word has been lost, not a tear overlooked. Every breath you thought wasted in sorrow, I cradled close. Every night spent beneath the weight of your own failures, I hovered nearby. My love never turned away, not once. And now, here in this very moment, I reach out to you once more, not to rehash past mistakes or shame you for choices made, but to declare with all the power of heaven, the past is not your dwelling place. Step out of it. Walk with me into the light of what I am doing now. Today is not just a second chance. It is a divine new beginning. You need not retrace old steps or rewrite worn chapters to deserve this moment. What I offer you is not earned. It is freely given, lavishly poured out. That is the nature of my love. I do not bargain blessings. I shower them abundantly. While the world judges progress by flawless performance, I ask only for your heart, raw, sincere, willing. Even the faintest trembling yes you whisper beneath your breath is enough for me to move mountains on your behalf. You don't need to be fearless. You don't even need to feel strong. You only need to be willing to believe that I have not left you where I found you, that I, the God who brings all things into existence with a word, can begin again with you. Many voices will try to convince you otherwise. They'll say you're too late, too broken, too far gone, but I am the creator of time itself, and I exist beyond its limits. I make all things new, including the parts of you hidden beneath layers of shame. My beloved, I am not waiting for you to fix yourself. I'm asking you to be still enough to let me hold you. Stop measuring how far you've fallen. Start noticing how far I've carried you. This is not about what you missed. It is about what I am restoring. You are not disqualified by your wounds. In fact, your wounds are the very places where my glory begins to shine. I know the burden you've borne, the heaviness of disappointment, the ache of dreams deferred, the exhaustion of hoping for more while trapped in cycles of resistance. But I am not a God of endless repetition. I am the God of resurrection. Today I breathe new life into places you believed beyond repair. I'm not resurrecting the past to trap you in old pain. I am birthing something wholly new, something shaped in the secret depths of my love for you. Your heart's longing for change, healing, and clarity is because I have planted eternity inside you, and only transformation can satisfy it. You were made for renewal. You were made to rise, and every time you feel the pull towards something better, that sacred ache whispering, there must be more, that is me calling you forward. That is my voice beneath the noise reminding you, your story is far from over. This is not simply a new page, it is a new book. And I have already begun to write it in grace and promise. Let the morning be your sign. Let the breaking light, the breeze upon your skin, and your very breath remind you I am here, actively working. My mercies are fresh, never recycled leftovers from yesterday. They are tailored for today, designed specifically for you. And yes, I see all that has been, the battles lost, the regrets spoken, the moments you wish you could rewrite, but I have covered them all. My love is not a patch. It is a complete garment of glory that makes all things radiant again. So rise, even if your legs tremble. Speak, even if your voice shakes. Walk with me, even if doubt still binds your steps. I will be your strength until you find your own. I will be your hope when yours runs dry. And when you forget how to believe, I will hold your faith for you. Such is the depth of my commitment. This new beginning runs soul deep, not mere shallow promises, but transformative renewal. I don't ask you to be perfect, I ask you only to be present. Let me love you here. This is today's promise, not mere survival, not just progress, but true renewal. I am not glossing over your pain to make it easier to bear. I am turning it into power. I am not erasing your past, I am redeeming it. I am not distant, watching from afar. I am here with you for you, now and always. This day itself is proof. This breath you draw is evidence. You stand on holy ground, even if it looks ordinary. Take my hand, beloved. Your story begins anew. You may ask, why me? Why now? You watch the world rushing by, the seasons shifting, others seemingly walking with purpose and clarity, while you feel as if you're still gathering broken pieces. But I do not choose based on qualifications as the world sees them. My choice is founded on love, and I chose you before time itself began. This new beginning is no accident. It is no random event. It is not late. It is perfectly timed, intricately woven into the very fabric of your life's design. You have not missed it. You are not behind. Every delay, every detour, even the silence itself, has not disqualified you. Instead, I have used each moment to prepare you for a breakthrough you did not even know you needed. What you call failure, I call formation. What you see as a setback, I see as a setup for something purer, stronger, more aligned with who I created you to be. My child, do not fear beginning again. It is not weakness to admit you need a new path. It is wisdom. It is courage. And when your courage feels faint, I will be your inexhaustible supply. The world prizes momentum, but I honor surrender. Surrender is the gateway to new life, not through striving, not through perfection, but through letting go. I am calling you into that surrender now, not to strip you of your identity, but to awaken it fully, to unveil what has long been hidden beneath expectation, pressure, and pain. You have carried heavy questions in the dark, questions about your worth, your purpose, your direction. At times, you have even asked if you are still loved. Hear me. I have never ceased loving you. Not once, not for a moment. You could never fall so far as to escape my embrace. No wandering has made me withdraw the invitation I extend to you again today. Begin with me. Begin again. No shame, no condemnation, no need to pretend. Come just as you are. Bring your questions, bring your broken pieces, bring the flicker of hope still glowing faintly in your heart. I can work with that. I can make that holy. This new beginning is about more than what you will do or where you will go. It is about who you are becoming. I am not rushing you toward a destination. I am walking beside you into deeper truth, deeper healing, deeper freedom. This is not a race. This is restoration. You are not being repaired like a broken machine. You are being restored like a cherished masterpiece, gently cleansed of the layers that once tried to hide your beauty. Every lie you have believed about yourself, every time you felt unseen, unheard, unworthy, every scar that made you hide, those are the very places I now light up with my truth. You were never meant to live in fear of starting over. That fear is not from me. I am not the voice that says you're too old, too late, too flawed, too broken. I am the voice that called Moses from the wilderness, lifted David from the fields, restored Peter after denial, I call things not only as they are, but as they are meant to be. And I see in you someone worthy of new beginnings, not by your own strength, but by my Spirit. I will not leave you stranded at the threshold. I will walk you through every step of the door. If you knew how deeply I longed for your wholeness, you would never doubt your right to begin again. If you could see what I see, the future unfolding, lives being touched, joy returning, you would understand why I have brought you to this very moment. Your tears were never wasted. Your prayers have not vanished. They have watered the soil for what I am bringing to life now. Yes, doubt will still whisper at times, but remember, I do not lead you with fear. I lead you with love, and love casts out fear. When fear creeps in, come back to me. Rest in me. Let me remind you who you are and whose you are. You don't need a grand vision or detailed plan. All I need is your yes. That small, trembling yes echoes louder in heaven than you know. I do not despise small beginnings. I celebrate them. I breathe life into them. I will do more with your yes than you could do with a lifetime of striving. So breathe, beloved. Breathe deeply. The air you breathe today is sacred. It carries promise. It carries destiny. It carries me. I am not only the God of beginnings, I am the God who finishes what I start. And I have started something new in you. Let it grow. Let it rise. Let it surprise you. You don't have to control it. You only need to stay close to me. I will guide you, sometimes with clarity, sometimes in silence, but always with purpose. You were never created to remain stuck. You were made to soar. Though your wings may still feel weak from burden, I promise they will fly again. And when they do, you will wonder why you ever feared the wind. This is your turning point, not announced with fanfare or flashing lights, but marked by the quiet, sacred knowing that something has shifted within your soul, that the past no longer defines you, that hope is a present companion, that your life even now is being rewritten by my hand, not with ink, but with grace. This is the promise of your new beginning. I am with you, and I will never let you go. There are times when your soul aches for rest, not just the rest of your body, but the deep, full exhale of your heart that only comes when you know you are truly safe, fully held, and completely seen. I understand your weariness, how tired you are of carrying expectations, of trying to hold everything together, and of wondering if your best will ever be enough. But here, in this sacred pause between what has ended and what is about to begin, I offer you something far more precious than temporary relief. I offer you peace, not fleeting calm or passing comfort, but the deep, unwavering stillness that fills your heart when it knows I am with you, for you, and working all things together for your good. You have poured out your strength in battles unseen. You have given love when your own soul felt empty. You have smiled when your spirit wept quietly. Through it all, I have watched, not from a distance, but right beside you. I have counted every tear that no one else noticed. I have listened to every word spoken only in your thoughts. I have carried you when you didn't even know you needed carrying. And now I say to you, it is safe to rest. It is safe to release. It is safe to trust me with your healing. Your wounds are not burdens to me. They are invitations, not to fix you, but to know you more deeply, not to expose you, but to set you free. When you bring me your hurt, your fear, your guilt, you are not weak, you are courageous. So many have taught you to hide your pain, to push through, to perform, but I do not want your performance. I want your heart. I am not shocked by your brokenness. I do not recoil from your scars. I understand. I weep with you. And then I begin to rebuild you from the inside out, not by making you someone else, but by restoring you to who I created you to be before pain rewrote your story. This new beginning is not a denial of your past. It is its redemption. The world may urge you to forget and move on, to silence your grief, to pretend you have healed before you really have. but I do not rush the process. I walk with you through it. Every crack in your heart is a place where I lay my hand, not to hurt, but to bring warmth where cold has lingered too long. Every numbness is a place where I breathe life anew. You don't need to pretend wholeness for me. I know exactly where you still bleed, and I am not afraid of the mess. Sometimes you look in the mirror and see only what's missing, what was taken, what you wish to change, what you have lost. But I see more. I see gold beneath the ash, strength beneath the silence, beauty that never left, even in your darkest hours. You are not defined by mistakes, nor by what others have done to you. You are defined by my love, love that never fades, never wavers with your moods, never retreats when you struggle. My love is anchored deep and refuses to let go. If you could see yourself as I see you, even for a moment, you would never again doubt your worth. You would see someone worth fighting for, someone I have awaited, someone I pursue with tender urgency, not to control, but to free. Because I know what it feels like to long for healing while afraid to hope. I know the fragile flicker inside you wondering, could something truly change? My answer is not only yes, it is happening now, even here. This sacred beginning doesn't depend on your ability to get everything right. It depends only on your willingness to trust that I am with you. Let go of timelines. Release the pressure. Healing is not always linear. Growth doesn't always look like progress. But I'm not measuring your journey by outward signs. I am watching the quiet shifts within, the softening of your heart after hardness, the risking of belief again after disappointment, the offering of kindness when your soul still aches. These things matter. They are the evidence of transformation. You may wonder why I allow brokenness, why I don't shield you from pain. But beloved, some things only suffering can awaken. Compassion, depth, dependence, true surrender. I do not cause the pain, but I never waste it. I enter into it with you. I shape it into your authority, your testimony, your strength. When you give it to me, saying, I don't know how to heal, but here is my pain, I take it gently and reshape your heart. Not to erase what happened, but to remove the sting, restore joy, and rebuild your identity in me. You are not beyond repair. You are not unworthy of newness. The shame you've worn is not your identity. I remove it now, not harshly, but with grace that knows you fully and loves you completely. Your healing won't look like anyone else's. That's because it is handcrafted by me, tailored to your heart, your past, your purpose. No one else defines your wholeness, only I do. And what I see is stunning. This beginning is as much about restoration as revelation. I reveal to you what you forgot, your gentleness, courage, ability to dream. Let them return. Let them rise. Let me bring you back to life in places you thought gone forever. The world may say strength means being unshaken, but true strength is in the softness that survives, in the heart that beats after breaking, the spirit daring hope after silence. You are that strong. You are that love. You are that seen. This is holy ground of your becoming. Inside you lives a quiet ache. Even the strongest hearts carry it. That longing for something more, something whole, something that finally feels like home. You have stood in those in-between spaces where what once was no longer fits and what is to come hasn't yet arrived. In that waiting, your heart has questioned, your faith has flickered, your soul has whispered, how long? Yet even in your waiting, I have been working. Even in the stillness, I have been moving on your behalf. Your silence has not halted my plan. Your weariness has not delayed my promise. For I do not abandon those I love. I surround them. I protect them from behind and before. I cradle them in the waiting. You see delays, I see preparation. You feel absence, I offer presence beyond feeling. You seek resolution, I bring transformation. Because I am not merely giving you something new, I am making you new. That kind of renewal takes time, sacred, intentional time, like the soil holding the seed in darkness before the sprout emerges, like the cocoon that seems still while wings form. You are not stuck, you are being prepared, and that longing inside you is proof that there is more. I planted it not to torment, but to guide, like a divine compass pointing toward the future I already see, a future shaped by mercy and carried on grace. Do not despise the waiting. Do not mistake my silence for absence. I am closer than your breath. I have gathered every sigh, every unanswered prayer, every sleepless night wondering if breakthrough would come. I hold them close to my heart. You are not forgotten in the crowd. You are not lost in time's passage. I am a God of precise moments. Nothing in your life is wasted, not a single second. If only you could see how intricately I weave your journey. The places that broke you open become wells from which you will draw wisdom, compassion, and strength. The wounds that once defined you are becoming places where my glory shines through. There is a beauty only waiting can produce. It softens you. It strips away pretense. It teaches you to hear me beyond noise. In that space, I speak what only the still can hear. I reveal myself in the quiet, not to hide, but because I long for intimacy with you. In the crowd, my voice can be lost, my whisper missed, but in waiting, your ears are finally tuned. It is there I draw near, not as a distant deity, but as the lover of your soul. I come not with judgment, but with reassurance, not with pressure, but with presence. You have believed moving forward requires doing more, fixing more, understanding more. But what if the beginning I call you to is not effort, but trust? What if the door opens not with force, but with surrender? What if the next step is not striving, but resting in me more deeply than ever? I know how hard that can be. You've been taught value is proven through action, but I measure value by intimacy. When you are close to me, even in stillness, you are more powerful than you realize. Because proximity to me changes everything. Sometimes you pray for doors to open, but I prepare your heart first, to walk through with grace. Sometimes you ask for clarity. I give you deeper trust instead. Sometimes you long for resolution. I offer redemption beyond imagination. This is not to confuse you. I see what you cannot. I know the cost of rushing. I know the depth of your calling. I know the weight of dreams placed within your spirit. And I love you too much to answer quickly, when slowly will heal more deeply. Even in waiting you grow. Though unseen, your roots stretch into strength. Though forgotten, I whisper your name in heavenly places. Though behind, I align your moments with divine timing. When the time comes, the door opens, the answer arrives, the shift begins. It will not be accidental. You will see my fingerprints in every detail. You will realize I was never withholding. I was preserving, maturing, positioning you. I know the urge to numb the ache, distract yourself, settle for less to feel control. But don't. Don't trade holy waiting for temporary comfort. Don't confuse delay with denial. Don't let impatience steal the beauty I weave. Trust what I do unseen will soon be visible. Trust your life is not paused. It is filled moment by my spirit. There will come a day, closer than you think, when waiting ends. On that day, you will step into rooms once only dreamed of, speak words once trembling on your lips. Love with a heart no longer weighed by fear. Carry grace as evidence, not just for yourself, but for those still waiting. You will become proof of my faithfulness, not only in the finish, but in the in-between. Others will find courage because you dared to believe in the quiet. So hold on, beloved, not because you must earn what's next, but because it is already being formed for you. Hold on with open hands, not clenched fists. Hold on, not to past or fear, but to me. I am the God of new beginnings. I never grow weary. I never run out of mercy. I never forget my promises. and I have not forgotten you. This moment is no void, it is a womb. Something beautiful is about to be born. You've been taught to fear weakness, to hide vulnerability, to present only the strong, stable parts of yourself. But I see you completely. I see what others miss, the trembling beneath your laughter, the fatigue behind your kindness, the places where hope feels worn thin. And still, I call you mine. Still, I call you forward. Not because I demand perfection, but because I delight in walking with you as you are. This new beginning is not a demand for performance. It is an invitation to truth. Truth begins where masks come off, where shadows are acknowledged, where the soul dares to be seen. My child, I am not ashamed of your struggle. I am patient with your healing. I am not discouraged by your questions. I know the pain you carry even when you smile. I know the pressure you place on yourself. The inner voices whispering, you should be further along, or you shouldn't still hurt. But I do not speak condemnation. I speak compassion. I know your strength has been tested, your courage worn thin. Some days, even breathing feels like faith, and it is. Every breath you take is a sacred act of resistance against darkness that once tried to silence you. You don't have to be fearless to be faithful. You don't have to feel whole to be loved. You only need to come. Bring me your confusion, your mess, your half-healed heart. I will not turn you away. I will not ask you to be more than you are. I am the one who makes you whole, not through pressure, but through presence. I do not ask you to clean yourself before approaching me. I ask only that you come as you are, weary, worried, wounded. I welcome it all because your healing begins where your honesty does. I am not like those who loved you conditionally. I will not withdraw when you falter. I will not turn my back when you cry out in fear or frustration. I do not shame you for being human. I became human to show you the depth of my empathy. I walk through sorrow, betrayal, pain, not to avoid it, but to say, I understand. When you feel overwhelmed, know I have stood where you stand. And now I stand beside you, ready to carry what you cannot. This new beginning is not about pretending. It's about letting me meet you where you truly are. And I promise, no truth about you frightens me. No part of your past or present can change my love for you. Nothing you've done or failed to do cancels what I have spoken over your life. My plans for you rest not on your perfection, but on my power. My power is perfected in your weakness, not in pretending. The pain you've endured tried to convince you that vulnerability is danger, softness is weakness, honesty leads to rejection. But I say those are lies. You were made to feel, to hope, to need, to love. You were never meant to harden yourself to survive. You were made to be held, nurtured, known. I offer that knowing, safety, love, not in exchange for your strength, but in fullness of your weakness. I know trusting again is hard. You've been let down, misunderstood, watched others walk away when you needed them most. But I am not going anywhere. I do not give up. I do not grow tired. I keep no record of wrongs. My love is not based on your effort or ability to hold it all together. My love is based on my nature, and I do not change. You may feel fragile now, but I am your shelter. You may feel unstable, but I am your solid ground. You are not too much. You are not too broken. You are not too complicated. You are deeply loved. Every part of you, the shining and the aching, is welcome with me. I do not ask you to suppress your humanity for my love. I ask you to bring all of it so I can wrap it in divinity. I want to heal not just your surface wounds, but the deep fractures you hide, the places that ache unseen, the stories never spoken, the beliefs that quietly chip at your worth. Let me in, not because I demand it, but because I long to bring comfort there. I long to hold you in the rawness of becoming and remind you, you are not defined by what happened to you. You are defined by who you belong to. And you belong to me, not possessively or distantly, but with tender, relentless, present love that will never let go. You don't need to heal alone. You were never meant to. Healing is sacred companionship, and I walk it with you. I do not pace ahead impatiently. I walk at your speed. When you cannot walk, I carry you. When your eyes tire of seeing the way, I lead gently. When your heart is bruised too deeply to hope, I hold hope until you can lift it again. This new beginning does not require you to become someone else. It requires you become fully yourself, the you beneath the pain, the pressure, the lies. The you created in love, called by name, made with purpose. That you is not gone, it is rising, and I breathe life into it with every moment we share. This is not your story's end. It is the unfolding of its most beautiful part. I am honored to walk with you, not as distant God, but closest companion. You are seen, you are safe, you are loved, and you are ready, even now, to begin again. You have often wondered if your past has disqualified you from the life I promised. The weight of former choices, the sting of old memories, the echo of harsh words spoken in anger or despair, they sometimes return in quiet moments, don't they? They knock at your door wrapped in shame, trying to convince you that nothing new can grow where guilt has settled. But I speak now with a voice that no shadow can silence. You are not disqualified, not from my love, not from my purpose, not from a future filled with hope and beauty. Your past, no matter how tangled, does not outrun my redemption. I do not define you by your worst day. I do not name you by your failures. I name you mine. I name you beloved. I name you worthy, not because you earned it, but because my love declares it. The blood that spoke your name into eternity has never lost its power. It cries out, not with accusation, but with mercy. And that mercy is new every morning, not rationed or recycled, but abundant and overflowing. Available to you even now. The parts of your story you've tried to hide, I already see. And still, I stay. Still, I reach. Still, I invite you to walk in newness with me. You've tried to fix things on your own, prove your worth through endless striving, redeem yourself through perfection. But I never asked for your perfection. I asked only for your heart. And the heart that turns toward me, no matter how many times it has wandered, is one I never reject. I know what has tried to define you. I know the shame that clings like a second skin, but I am removing it now, not with harsh hands, but with holy gentleness. You don't need to punish yourself to be purified. My love does the work. My grace is poured out in the face of your pain until healing comes. I know the memories that resurface when you try to hope again, the ones that whisper, "It didn't work last time. Why would it now?" But I am not the God of second chances. I am the God of infinite restoration. I don't just give you another shot. I rebuild your very foundation. I do not put a bandage on your wounds. I touch them until they are truly healed. Yes, sometimes healing hurts before it feels better. Sometimes you must confront what you've buried. But I will never ask you to walk into pain alone. I go with you. I hold your hand. I give you strength to face what you could not before. Let go of the lie that what you've done is who you are. That is not truth. What you've done may be part of your story, but it is not your identity. I am the one who defines you. And I say you are a new creation. I say you are washed clean. I say the slate is not wiped, but rewritten. Your past is not a prison. It is the fertile soil from which I will grow compassion, wisdom, and strength. It no longer holds power unless you give it permission. And I am here to help you release it fully and finally. Even now, I remind you that your greatest shame is no match for my mercy. The moments you wish never happened are already covered. You may still feel the consequences, still see the remnants, but the guilt no longer belongs to you. I carried it, I canceled it, and I am teaching you how to walk in that freedom, not just once, but every day. It may feel unfamiliar at first, like walking without chains after years of bondage. But with each step, you will learn to move freely, think clearly, and breathe deeply again. The enemy would love for you to believe you are bound to who you were, that your identity is rooted in failure. But I uprooted that lie the moment I called you mine. When I gave you my spirit, I planted truth inside you, stronger than any accusation, and that truth is growing even now. You may not yet see the full bloom, but the seed is alive. Water it with trust. Feed it with time. In my presence, let it stretch its roots deep into my promises. And soon, the fruit will be unmistakable. You are not defined by your darkest moment. You are defined by the light that refuses to leave you. The light that has followed you through every valley, every silence, every place you felt abandoned. Even when you ran, you cannot outrun my presence. You cannot undo my calling. You cannot fall beyond the reach of my hand, and I do not rescue you reluctantly. I do it joyfully, because restoring you fills my heart with joy. You are not a burden to me. You are my beloved. You have been living a story written by fear and regret, but I am writing a new narrative, one where redemption touches every page, one where your scars become signs of my faithfulness, one where grace is not a visitor, it dwells. You no longer have to live in reaction to what happened. You can begin to live in response to my love. This is what it means to begin again, not erasing your history, but rewriting its meaning in the light of my mercy. In this new beginning, shame has no voice. Condemnation has no place. Only grace speaks. Only love leads. Only truth stands. I want you to look forward, not with fear, but with hope. Not with suspicion, but with confidence. Because I am the one walking with you. I am the one who sees the whole picture, who knows the purpose behind every piece. And I say again, you are not disqualified. You are destined. Destined for beauty, depth, joy, coin. For a future crafted by the hands of the one who knows you best and loves you most. So breathe. Stand tall again. You are not who you were. You are who I say you are. And that truth changes everything. There is a stirring within you, subtle yet persistent, the call to rise, to stretch beyond what has felt safe, to believe again, not only in what could be, but in who you truly are. That voice is mine. I am awakening what the world tried to numb. I am resurrecting the pieces of your identity buried beneath fear, comparison, and years of survival. For too long, you've measured yourself through the eyes of others, held yourself to standards never meant for your soul, and silenced the deepest parts of your spirit to fit into roles I never required you to play. But I made you unique, fearfully and wonderfully, and it is time to reclaim who I created you to be. You were never meant to merely exist or blend into the background of your own life. You were made to carry my presence, reflect my heart, and move through this world with divine purpose etched into your being. Yes, the journey to embrace that truth can be painful. When you peel back the layers of false identity, when you begin to question the lies you've lived under, discomfort arises. But discomfort is not a sign you are lost. It is a sign you are waking up, that you are stepping into alignment with my design, not the world's demands. I did not create you to be a copy. You were never meant to echo someone else's voice, dreams, or path. You were crafted to bring something to this world no one else can. And the more you walk with me, the more you will uncover not only what you are meant to do, but who you have always been beneath layers of expectation. That is the gift of this new beginning. Not only a shift in circumstances, but an unveiling of true identity, the rediscovery of the soul I carefully shaped in the secret place. You have tried to be small to stay safe. You have dimmed your light so others wouldn't feel uncomfortable. You have hidden your passion to avoid rejection. But I did not place fire within you so you would hide it. I placed it there so you would set the world ablaze with love, truth, justice, hope. You are not too much. You are not too bold. You are not too different. You are exactly who I designed, and this world needs exactly what you carry. This transformation will require courage. It will ask you to shed old ways of thinking, to grieve versions of yourself that once served but now no longer fit. There will be days when doubt whispers louder than truth, when stepping into your identity feels like entering a storm. But remember, I calm storms. I walk on waves. I breathe peace into chaos, and I walk with you always. You will never go alone where I lead. My presence will steady your feet. My voice will be your compass. My love will be your covering. I will teach you to discern my voice from the noise. It is the one that brings peace, not panic. The one that draws you closer, not drives you away with shame. The one that reminds you who you are, not who the world demands. As you tune your heart to me, you will begin to move with a confidence unrelated to appearance or achievement. It will be the confidence that comes from being known by love itself. That is your foundation, not approval, applause, or performance, but me. And that is enough. Do not be afraid to let go of what no longer serves who you are becoming. Sometimes beginnings require endings, not because you failed, but because you've outgrown what once fit. I will give you strength to release. I will give you grace to grieve, and I will fill every empty space with my presence. This is not loss. It is expansion, becoming, rising. You were created to rise, not in arrogance, but in freedom, wholeness, and bold trust. Every time you choose truth over fear, authenticity over performance, presence over distraction, you are rising. You are stepping into your divine identity. And the more you do, heaven rejoices. Because all creation thrives when living from its true self. You are no exception. I breathed life into you, not for cycles of self-doubt. I breathed life into you to reflect my image, my creativity, compassion, strength. Let yourself believe again. Believe you matter. Believe your voice is needed. Believe your dreams were planted by me. Believe your uniqueness is your assignment, not your flaw. When fear whispers, "Who do you think you are?" let your spirit answer, "I am who God says I am." That is not pride. It is truth. Holy, healing truth. The more you speak it, the more your soul rises to match it. This beginning is about more than healing. It's about reclaiming your name, the name I whisper in the quiet, etched in eternity, speaking strength, tenderness, joy, courage, and purpose. You have worn many labels, some given, some assumed, but they do not define you. Only I do. I call you chosen. I call you radiant. I call you daughter, son, warrior, friend. I call you mine. And when you live from that place, everything changes, not just around you, but deep within you. So rise in spirit, speak your truth, step fully into who you are. I will guide every word, every step, every choice. You don't need to see the whole path. You only need to keep walking with me. I will lead you into rooms you never imagined, into influence you never sought, into impact beyond your dreams. Not because you chase significance, but because you abide in me. As you walk this new beginning, clothed in truth, empowered by love, anchored in grace, you become a living testament to what it means to rise again. Not by might, not by status, but by my spirit. You have braced for disappointment so long that joy now feels fragile, almost dangerous. You wonder if fully feeling it will make the fall harder when things change again. You've built walls, not from bitterness, but protection. You've made peace with silence, telling yourself it's safer to feel nothing than risk everything. But I invite you to let joy back in, not the kind tied to circumstance, but the kind rooted in me, the kind that dances in darkness, sings when the outcome is uncertain. You were never meant for emotional exile. You were made to feel deeply, love freely, and rejoice fully, and I am here to teach you how. Joy is not naive. It does not deny pain or pretend all is perfect. True joy is forged in endurance's fire and sustained by my presence. It coexists with tears. It grows in sorrow's soil. It is not absence of hardship, but the awareness of me within it. When you welcome joy, you do not betray your grief. You honor your resilience. You say, despite it all, I still believe. That belief is sacred. It moves heaven. It stirs my heart. When you choose joy, you choose to see through my eyes that see the whole story, not just the broken chapter. Many live guarded even in my presence, afraid that opening their hearts will lead to disappointment instead of delight. But I never tease with hope. I never raise expectations to crush them. My timing may test your patience, but it never betrays your trust. I know when to bring breakthrough. I know how to heal wounds you forgot you had. I know the joy your heart needs, not cheap success, but lasting joy from knowing you are deeply loved, endlessly pursued, securely held. I want you to laugh, really laugh. I want your smile to reach your eyes, not just your lips. I want your soul to feel light, not because all is fixed, but because you are free. Free from the lie that peace must be earned. Free from carrying life's burdens alone. Free from believing happiness waits for perfect conditions. You don't need to understand it all to enjoy this moment. You only need to be present with me. Joy lives in the present, not past, not future. Right here, right now. I know fear tries to choke your joy. It whispers worst-case scenarios, replays old memories, makes you doubt blessings as traps. But fear is a liar. It does not protect you. It paralyzes you. It steals peace. Every time you choose joy in fear's face, you declare war on lies that keep you small. Joy is a weapon. It disrupts the enemy. It releases strength. It realigns your spirit with truth. That is why the world cannot give you this joy, and why it cannot take it away. Let yourself feel it, even if scary, unfamiliar, tearful. Joy is not weakness. It is resurrection sound. It is what your soul craves. You survived on duty alone, but you were created for delight. I wired you for wonder. I placed beauty on your path, not to distract, but to remind you who I am. A God of abundance, a creator of color, a father who laughs with his children. Look around. Even now, the sky paints itself in glory. The breeze sings through the trees. These daily reminders say, life is not to endure. It is to experience deeply and fully. In this new beginning, joy will be your compass. It will not mean life is easy, but that you walk with lightness and hope. You will begin to recognize me, not only in answered prayers, but in quiet beauty, kindness of friends, warmth of sunlight, melody of laughter, comfort of stillness. These are not small things. They are sacred encounters. The more you see me there, the more your heart opens to receive the joy I've held for you all along. This joy is not shallow. It is deep and sustaining. The kind that steadies you in storms, that cannot be faked or shaken. You do not chase it. It chases you. It knocks at your heart's door, asking only, will you let it in? You may worry letting joy in means vulnerability again, exposure to pain you tried to avoid. But joy does not make you fragile. It makes you strong, because joy connects you to me, the source of all life. Connected to me, nothing can truly destroy you. Your joy becomes resilience. Your laughter becomes intercession. Your smile becomes testimony. Not that life was perfect, but that I was present, and that is enough. Let today be the day you give joy permission to return. Let it slip through the cracks. Let it surprise you. Let it lift the heaviness you carry. This is the promise of a new beginning, not just freedom from what was, but fullness in what is. I am not just delivering you from the past. I am inviting you into abundance, into joy that doesn't wait for circumstances to change, but finds me in every circumstance. So dance, even if your feet remember chains. Laugh, even if your voice trembles. Sing, even if your heart relearns the tune. This joy is your inheritance. This freedom is your birthright. This new beginning was made not only to lift you, but to help you soar. This is where it begins to settle, not as a fleeting thought or distant hope, but as a living, breathing reality. The new beginning is real. You are not imagining it. You are not dreaming up a change that will vanish with the next hard moment. I am the one doing this work in you, and I never start what I will not finish. This transformation is not a phase or passing feeling. It is the unfolding of something sacred. You have sensed it, haven't you? In the way your heart feels softer than before, in how tears come more quickly, not just from pain, but from awe at being truly seen, in how you begin to hope without apology. That is me. That is renewal. That is grace quietly but powerfully working in your life. The promise I made to make all things new is not only for dramatic moments, it is for today, for the ordinary, for the gentle rhythm of waking and sleeping, breathing and believing, falling and rising again. I do not wait for you to be ready. I make you ready through love. I do not wait for perfect conditions. I create space amid your mess. I begin again, not when you have all the answers, but when you let go of the ones that were never mine. And this, beloved, is why today is holy, because you are here, still standing, still listening, still choosing to believe, even with trembling hands. That is enough for me to move mountains. Do not underestimate what I am doing simply because it is quiet. Most of my miracles begin in silence, in soil and places unseen. What I plant in secret, I will reveal in time. The tears you have cried have watered the ground. The prayers you whispered have stirred the heavens. And now what was buried begins to grow. You may not see the fruit yet, but roots deepen. Your faith stretches. Your heart expands. And what lies ahead will be more beautiful than what you leave behind. Not because pain will never come again, but because you become someone who walks through pain differently. This is the difference a new beginning makes. Not that life becomes perfect, but that you become anchored, no longer tossed by every wave, no longer enslaved by fear, guilt, or approval's need. You begin to live from a new center, rooted in my love, not in circumstances. And when the world shakes, you will not be shaken. When others forget who they are, you will remember. Because your foundation is not in events, it is in me. I see how much you want to get this right, how much pressure you put on yourself not to miss what I am doing. But child, beginnings are not about performance, they are about promise. This promise doesn't depend on how perfectly you walk it out. It depends on my nature, and I am faithful. I am patient. I am kind. I do not seek your perfection. I celebrate your yes. Every small yes matters. Every choice to show up, to try again, to open your heart a little more. These are not small things. They are sacred milestones, and I honor each one. You asked, how do I know I'm really starting over? And I answer, because your heart wakes. Because lies don't land like before. Because you crave truth more than comfort, healing more than hiding, presence more than performance. Because what you once tolerated is no longer welcome in your life. That shift, that holy unrest, is proof I am doing something new. You are not who you were, even if you do not yet fully see who you are becoming. Let that bring peace. I am not in a hurry. I do not rush your process. I walk it with you, and I will walk as long as it takes. There is no timer in my kingdom, no clock ticking down your worth. My love is timeless, so is my commitment to your becoming. The promise I made you never expires. It stands, even now. This is your invitation once more. Breathe deeply. Exhale striving. Let this new beginning be enough for today. You don't need to do more to prove it real. You don't need dramatic feelings to believe it. Sometimes the most powerful shift happens in stillness. When you decide, I will trust you here. I will let you lead. I will no longer fight for control. I will walk step by step, even if I see only the next inch. I know you want the full picture. I know how hard it is to walk by faith when sight is limited. But what I'm building is bigger than your eyes see now. I'm crafting a life overflowing with goodness. Not always how you expect, but always satisfying your soul. In time, you will look back, not with regret, but with gratitude. You will see this place where you were remade, not because everything changed at once, but because you finally said yes to the God who never stopped believing in you. You are not walking into this new beginning alone. You walk with me. Where I am, there is peace, provision, power. You don't need to bring it all. Just bring your heart. I will do the rest. Let's begin again, together. You've reached the threshold, not of an end, but of the life I prepared for you all along. This is not the end. It is the arrival of a beginning meant just for you. You may not feel different yet. You may still sense yesterday's ache lingering, but know this: something eternal has shifted. Not because of feelings or signs, but because your heart opened deeper. And when your heart opens even a little, I fill the space with all I am. You have crossed from survival into presence, from shame into truth, from resignation into hope. Though the path ahead will hold valleys and shadows, you carry something new, a lived confidence in my nearness. You have tasted mercy. You have seen my welcome, not wrath. Now you walk into tomorrow, not weighed by past, but lifted by promise's wings. This is how I make all things new, not with erasers, but redemption. I take what was broken and make it holy. What felt wasted, I make sacred. What seemed disqualifying, I turn into glory. This is the start of a new rhythm, not driven by fear or striving, but led by peace. I invite you into a life marked by rest in me, where your identity is not negotiated daily by performance, but anchored securely in my unchanging love. Where success is not comparison, but faithfulness in walking with me. Where joy is not fragile, but deep. Where peace is not circumstantial, but steady. This is my desire for you, not once in a while, but daily, moment by moment, breath by breath. Then I continue to walk with you, not only in highs, but in the mundane, not only in breakthroughs, but through process. I am there when you feel strong, and no less present when your knees falter. I am not a seasonal companion. I am eternal. My presence is not a reward for progress. It is your inheritance. As my child, you don't earn what I give. You only receive with open hands, open heart, quiet yes. Do not worry about sustaining what has begun. I will sustain it. What I start, I finish. What I touch, I transform. What I bless, I multiply. You don't carry the future's weight. Just stay close to me. I will guide you to right doors, protect you from wrong ones, redeem detours. Trust not your strength, but my faithfulness. I am not in a hurry. I delight to walk slowly if your soul needs. When you fall, and you will, I will not recoil. I will lift you, dust you off, remind you, you are mine. We are not going back, only moving forward. This new beginning is a seed. It will grow. It may start small, but holds the potential of forests. Every choice to trust, forgive, love over fear, these waters to the sea. Do not despise quiet days. Do not fear days when nothing moves below the surface. I am always at work. Faithfulness in hidden places yields fruit in open. And fruit is not for you alone. It nourishes others too. I am not just transforming your life. I prepare you to carry transformation. Let this promise settle deep. You are not behind. You are not beyond repair. You are not lost. You are found. You are chosen. You are loved. You are beginning again. Not because you failed, but because I always do new things in you. Your story did not end where you thought. It begins here, in this breath, this sacred surrender. Walk boldly. Speak truth. Live freely. Love deeply. Remember, I am always with you, not fleeting but constant. When the world changes, I remain. When emotions rise and fall, I am steady. When others leave, I draw near. Come to me always. I am not only your creator, I am your comforter, your counselor, your closest friend. I will never leave you. Not now, not ever. Let today mark more than a turning point. Let it mark transformation. Let it be the day heaven rejoiced because one heart dared to believe again. Let it be the day you saw yourself through my eyes. Let it be the day you, my beloved, stepped fully into the promise I've held for you all along. Beloved, this isn't the end of our moment. It's the beginning of a new rhythm between us. If today's words stirred something inside you, it's because I've been waiting to meet you here. And I will keep meeting you again and again. Come back to this space, not out of habit, but because every time you return, I will speak something fresh, something deeper, something meant only for you. Subscribe, not to a channel, but to communion, to clarity, to the steady unfolding of who you truly are. And share this with the weary, the wandering, the ones who've forgotten what love sounds like. You might be the doorway that brings them back to me. You are never alone, and I will be right here every time you come. Amen.